Hey, good morning from Passage Baptist Church. It's good to say that finally. Welcome. We're going to look at a song this morning together. One great song in the Old Testament in Isaiah 42. And this is the season of songs, isn't it? You have carols being sung, hymns being sung. You go into the shopping center, you listen on the radio, you can hear it at home. All these songs are being sung. And what you may not know about me is I have tried my hand, believe it or not, at songwriting. Now, I don't pretend to be any good at it. I'm not good at it. I hope that none of them really see the light of day. But I tried my hand at writing one song, and one of the songs I wrote was when I was about 20 years old. I was getting ready to propose to Luana, and I got the meal ready. I didn't actually cook the meal. I ordered in because I can't really do that very well. And I ordered in the meal. We had candles. We had whatever. And I at the end of the night, I took out my guitar and I sang her a song. Why? Because I wanted to show her what she meant to me. I wanted to reflect to her, listen, I love you. This is what you mean to me. And a few tears were shed. And in this first servant song in Isaiah, there's 4 servant songs in Isaiah. And in this first servant song, God the Father is going to express in love what his servant means to him. Listen to what he says in the first verse. Look at the word my. Listen to what he says. Behold my servant, whom I uphold, my chosen, in whom my soul delights. I have put my spirit upon him. God the Father is reflecting his love for his servant. Yes, Israel were supposed to be his servant, but they failed at their job. And so a representative was to come. The true and better servant was to come to represent the nation fully and finally and be the obedient servant that they were supposed to be. And that's exactly who Jesus was. He was the obedient servant. He came not to be served, but he came to serve and give his life as a ransom for many. He was born to be with us, but he was also born to die for us. He was obedient to the point of death, even death on a cross. He was the true servant. God reflects him as my chosen. Yes, he was exactly right. Chosen before the foundation of the world. You see, our sin didn't surprise God, did it? What we meant for evil, God, he meant it for good. This was part of the plan. To send his servant, to send his chosen, to send the one in whom he delights. And we hear of the Father's delight, don't we? In the baptism of Jesus. In Matthew chapter 3, he says, behold, this is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased. And at the end of the baptism, his Spirit descends upon him like a dove. He's mine. This is who the servant is. But not only does God the Father tell us who the servant is in the song, God the Father tells us what the servant will do. I want you to notice the will statements in the rest of the verses. He says at the end of verse 1, he will bring forth justice to the nations. My servant, my chosen, my delight, the one in whom I pour my spirit, he will bring justice. Think of these will statements. I make a lot of will statements in my life. I will do this, I will do that, I will play with you, I will put out the bins, I will do the dishes, I will. And I'm not making so many I will statements, I'm not even sure if I believe myself anymore. But when God the Father makes an I will statement, he absolutely believes it. It is a guarantee. You can bank on the statement. And he says that the servant will bring about his justice to the nations. He won't do it as we expect him to do it. He will not cry aloud. He will not, a bruised reed he will not break. It won't be a domineering justice when he comes. It will be a quiet, contented justice in which he establishes it on the cross. He did not utter a word on the cross. In fact, he said, Father, forgive them. That's how he established his justice. And there is one final day where he will come back and establish his justice to all nations. He will do it. One day every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. And on that day, do you know what? We will sing another song. We will sing, salvation belongs to our God. What a hope we have in Jesus.